So I'm going to explain about the piping which is done on the foundation. Before the foundation, I would say, so there is two types of pipe which have been laid over here. So there is this one thinner one which is for the water, and the other one which is the bigger one, it is for sewerage. So only these two types of pipes coming directly from the road, and then they are going inside the home. And you notice that there are some sand, amount of sand which has been put around these pipes. That is because we want to prevent any native soil, any chunks or glass chunks in the native soil or anything which can actually rupture these pipes. It is going to prevent. Another function is actually when the concrete will be poured into it, it will actually create a bit of cushion to not apply force of concrete directly on these pipes. So you see these piping have been laid out. These connections are for shower, tub, kitchen areas, different, as per the layout. And these long connections out, probably some of those connections will go into the second floor as well. So this foundation, this piping has been done, and now it's pretty much ready to put the poly cover and the next steps to create the foundation. So this is the second step. So after laying the plumbing, the water piping and the sewage piping, you see that the mud or the dust or the base of the ground is actually covered with the poly cover. We call this actually a vapor barrier because it prevents humidity and moisture to come out from the ground and to reach to the house. So this is a very good barrier. It actually is going to protect your home. And above that poly barrier, you would notice that there are these purple wires. We call it post tension wires. These purple wires are holded with some different clamps onto the poly covers, and these purple wires are actually going into the frames. And these purple wires, once we will pour the concrete over here, once the concrete is dried, these purple wires will be tightened with the hydraulic jack to compress the dried concrete to prevent any cracks in the foundation. So this is what we call post tension foundation because of these purple wires. We call it purple wires because of the purple sheathing. And you see that purple wires are done, poly covers are done throughout this lot, and then there are some of the areas which have been zoned differently. Reframing is done slightly over here. So this is most probably the patio, and on the front you see this is garage. So sometimes we leave this sort of an area if there are showers, probably that one over there. So there are these different levels of foundation concretes which you will see once the concrete is poured. So that's why these different levels are created. So now you see this is a prepared foundation, and within that prepared foundation you see that these wooden blocks have been removed, the frames. These tiny corners, these were the purple wires, the post tension wires. Those are being already tightened with the hydraulic jacks. And you see this is, I was earlier explaining the boxing out. The boxing out is done for a different level of concrete, and the similar you would see in the garage as well. There's a different level of concrete amount. And yeah, this is pretty much ready now to start putting the wooden frame on it.